Hey guys, this is the first edition. Whoops, hat's not as nice as I want. This is the first edition, potentially the only edition of this new segment about positive developments, or sometimes not so positive stories, but stories with some meaning to them, coming out of Israel or Israelis abroad. I'm hoping it'll be a success, but we'll see how it goes. We start off with the story of a hero, 75-year-old Liviu Librescu. Now, he was an Israeli professor of Romanian origin and was killed in the recent massacre in Virginia Tech trying to protect the students. He's taught there for 20 years and is said to have been the professor with the highest number of publications in the history of Virginia Tech. In the past, he taught at Israel's fantastic higher education Tel Aviv and Technion universities. He was killed for staying behind to block the door so that the murderer, I forget his name, couldn't get in, or to block him temporarily. His family said they were very proud of his actions of thinking of other people during this crisis, in the middle of a crisis. His burial is, or was, I don't know if he was buried yet, in Israel. I'd like to take a brief second to remember him and anyone else who was murdered there, along with any other tragic mass murders around the world. Alright guys, next story is Israeli students win International Robotics Championship. Now, I'll try and find a picture of the robot. I don't have one at the stage of recording. The robotics class at the Ortrovsky High School in Ra'anana recently won the International Robotics Championship, Ma'ariv News has reported. It is the second time in a row that they have won this worldwide event. Second time in a row. The championship took place in Connecticut with 125 robots from countries including China, South Korea, the United States, Canada, Singapore, and others. Israel had 5 teams on its part. The winning robot was called Aphrodite. A model of a 3-bedroom, that's 4-room, apartment was built. A lit candle was placed randomly in there anywhere. The Israeli high school robot, through its sensors, had to navigate round the apartment without touching anything and find the candle. The other robots from the same school won 5th and 7th place in the standards category. In the past, Israelis have made firefighting robots that came out on top of the international competitions. I don't know if it's the same school from last year or a different school. Next story, moving on. Intel shows off new chips. 500 Intel guests employees, I think it's 500, crowded under a white tent half the length of a football field at Intel's corporation in Santa Clara, California, its headquarters there, as Chief Executive Officer Paul Otellini put his company's newest lines of computer chips on through their paces. These are the best microprocessors we've ever designed, the best microprocessors we've ever built, Otellini told his audience. This is not just an incremental step, it's a revolutionary leap. The secret for you guys is that most Intel chips are no longer, most of the newest lines of Intel chips have not been designed in the United States, they've not been designed in the Far East, they've been designed in Israel. There's obviously technology that also comes from the United States, and the United States has a focus on other. United States Intel has other focuses. It's not that they do nothing, but the newest line of computer chips have pretty much come out of Israel. Doug Friedman, an analyst in San Francisco for Greenwich, Connecticut-based brokerage American Technology Research, said, "They saved the company. Without these new products, Intel would be in a lot more trouble." Now, Israeli developed auditory device makes walking easier for MS, I think that's multiple sclerosis patients. A Technion Institute computer science researcher has devised an auditory feedback system which enables patients with multiple sclerosis to improve their gait. The 400,000 Americans suffering from multiple sclerosis lack a simple but integral element that healthy people have to control their walking: sensory feedback from muscle nerve cells, which report to the muscle control, telling them if they are using their muscles correctly or not. They lack this ability. According to Baram, auditory feedback helps patients walk at a fixed pace because gait quality is expressed through a series of sounds that the person hears while walking. That's it. So they can therefore walk a little bit better. Slightly older, but also worth a mention, I thought. Joint Israeli-Palestinian youth art exhibit to debut in the US. Children of Jerusalem, painting pain, dreaming peace is the name of this exhibition, as far as I've been able to tell. An internationally acclaimed exhibition highlighting the selected artworks of Israeli and Palestinian youth created within a 2-year series of workshops is having its American debut at Zeum, San Francisco's innovative hands-on art and technology museum for kids and families. Created by child Holocaust survivor Dr. Kitty O. Cohen in response to the Second Intifada, the exhibit features 61 paintings by a group of 150 Palestinians and Israeli schoolchildren living in Jerusalem, ages 9 to 12. This art celebrates the role of art as a method to express their feelings as well as build bridges between societies and nations. That's it for the moment. I didn't want to make this video too long to see how people feel with it. So this edition is finished. I mean, it's a trial run. There are obviously plenty of stories to choose from. I decided to pick and choose. I didn't know how much time it's going to take up to report. It's taken a little bit less than I expected. I expected to be closer to 10 minutes, but I'll leave it for the moment. You know, you guys leave me feedback if you want to hear these kind of stories or not. To be honest, it's my videos. I choose what to do, but just to get an impression. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see what the feedback is.